प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंज राधा कुंज गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री श्री हरिद्वार धाम की जय। श्री श्री नवद्वीप महाराज धाम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, नाम संकीर्तन की जय, ट्रांसेंडेंटल डिसीजन की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद की जय। All glories to the Son of God. Glories to the Son of God. All glories to the Son of God. All glories to the Guru and God.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Hare
Especially Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have Bhagavad Gita, please take one. And you can also inquire from the devotees here, where you can get some books, and they are always here to study.
Donc, en fait, la Bhagavad Gita, c'est vraiment le livre principal. Si vous n'avez pas votre copie, on vous recommande fortement. Et donc, vous pouvez soit approcher moi ou tout autre dévot de l'ashram, donc Aarti aussi. Et donc, ça va me faire plaisir d'être à votre service.
So the next big program is Lord Nityananda's appearance day, which is in February 10th, Monday. So you are all invited to come always weekdays, it doesn't matter. And we will have a full-day program. And Lord Nityananda's special mercy, we will be able to get the glimpse of love for Krishna name. So definitely we'd like you all to come on Monday, and you'll have a very good time.
Donc le lundi, le 10 février, ça va être le jour d'apparition du Seigneur Canada. Donc le Ciel du Canada est très miséricordieux, donc c'est une journée très spéciale pour pouvoir avoir un aperçu de c'est quoi l'amour pur de Krishna, au Dieu. Et donc vous êtes invités à venir, même si c'est durant la semaine. On va bien s'éclater.
And of course, if you want to sponsor this Sunday feast or any other Rajbhog, you can always contact Bhagavad.
Donc, si vous voulez toujours commanditer soit un festin du dimanche à travers cette année, ou si vous désirez commanditer un dîner, un Rajbhoga, une offrande du Rajbhoga le midi, donc vous pouvez rentrer en communication avec Madame Kishore ici, qui est en kurta, en chandail rose, et très sympathique.
And we have a board here outside, not just in the lobby. You can see that each one is still empty, and you can put your name, and that will be, then you will be reserved for that day.
Donc, on a aussi un beau tableau que Mme Kishore a pris bien soin de remplir, mais il y a des cases vides. Donc, on vous encourage de aussi pouvoir mettre votre nom. Par contre, on ne fournit pas le crayon.
Today's English class will be given by Bhagavad and next class will be given by Aarti.
Donc, la classe en anglais va être donnée par Prasadam ici là, et la classe en français sera donnée par sa grâce à nous, Baba Prabhu. Ça va être au dernier étage en haut dans la salle de livres.
Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.
Today from Bhagavad Gita 2.14, contents of the Gita summarized. John, we have a screen today. Everyone can see it. Very nice. In this endeavor, translation, in this endeavor, there is no loss of illusion, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Activity in Krishna consciousness, or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification, is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work done in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is
therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%. Whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. Ajamil performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100%. By the grace of the Lord. There is a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam 1, Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse 17. Tyaktva svadhar mam charanam pujam hare bhajan apakvo tha pate tato yadi yatra kva vabhadram adhut Angusyakim ko varta apo bhajatam sva dharmataha. If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or as the Christians say, what profit a man if he gained the whole world yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul? Material activities and their results end with the body. But work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born again as a human being. Jai Shri Gaura Ki Jai. Shri Gaura Ki Jai. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born again as a human being. Either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family. That will give one a further chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swavadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Kavanakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sadvajatam Sahakana Raghunathan Vikantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakana Sri Shakha Krishna Karuna Sindhu Ninavandu Jagatpate Gopesha Radha Kanda Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhandu Sute Namani Hari Vanshakata Kalupasya Kipasindu Vyayevacha Titanam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Can anyone tell me what is the most let's hear how, and does anyone from the verse we read can guess who are we going to be talking about? Who was saved from death? Who was saved from the greatest type of fear? Ajamil, yes. So let's hear how Ajamil was protected. Ajamil was a Brahmin. Ajamil was a Brahmin. He was a very high-class young man. He was brought up by the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master. He was taught from a very early age how to live and lead a very pure and holy life. By the arrangement of his father, Ajamil got married and he got a beautiful, chaste wife. And together, they followed very closely the principles of Sanatana Dharma. They lived a very sacred and ideal life. But Maya is very strong. It is explained by Sukadeva Goswami that one day, Ajamil was walking in the forest. He was sent to get some fruits, some vegetables, something from the forest. And he happened to see a low class. So as he was walking back, he happened to see a low class, sinful woman, a prostitute, who was being embraced in a very passionate and sensual manner by a low class sinful woman. When Ajamil saw the pleasure of passion through sexual relation, it awakened in his heart a dormant seed of material desire. He then continued home. He saw it. He just continued home. But when he reached home, he saw that he could not control his mind anymore. And all sorts of imaginations started going towards that prostitute. The eyes, the senses, Bhagavad Gita explains that any one of the senses can suddenly drive us away. In this case, it was a sense of vision. Ajamil saw something. He was subdued by lust, kama, and therefore, like a bull being pulled by a rope attached to his nose ring, his mind and senses dragged him away from his wonderful, loving parents, very religious parents, from his wonderful, loving, and caring wife, to the feet of his prostitute. He became a slave of his mind and senses. And he had to pay the prostitute. And he was not able to make enough money with integrity and with a normal job. So he became a criminal. He started stealing, he started making money in unethical ways. He started cheating, all to satisfy his senses and her senses. Hare Krishna. And by the time he was 88, he had 10 sons with this prostitute. And still, he was very much attached to her. He was very much attached to the enjoyment. 88 years old. Sometimes we hear that I'll practice Krishna consciousness when I'm old. And right now is a time where I have so much energy, I have so much health, I have so much Shakti, I can do so many things. Now is the time for enjoyment. When I'll get older, my responsibilities will go away. I'll feel like, okay, all these material desires are gone. Then I can practice my Krishna consciousness. stay, earn some income from the government. Hare Krishna. Just chant and I'll be okay. But here in this case, this story of Ajahn is showing us that no, that's not how it happens. It is not possible. Srila Prabhupada once told a story. I forget the names, I wish I could remember, but there was a sage that went to see a king. And the sage was telling the king to practice bhakti, to start chanting, to start taking to devotional service. And the king was saying, why should I start practicing now? I am in the middle of the best years of my life. At the entrance, there is a diorama of people, of a person at different stages of his life. So he was in the middle, he was at the best stage of his life. He said, now is not the time for me to do some spirituality, to practice Krishna consciousness. Now is the time for me to enjoy. My senses are alert, I'm healthy. I'll practice when I get older. So the sage said, please come on to show you something. So he said, okay, where are you taking me? He said, I want to show you something. He said, is your daughter doing something right now? He said, no. He said, okay, can you bring her? So the king, he said, yeah, sure. So he brought his daughter. So the sage took the king and the daughter to see an old man. And so the king was very highly respected, and the sage was very highly respected. As they entered the room of that old man, he was over 100 years old. The old man didn't even look at the sage. Usually you see a sage, he says, nothing. The king came in. Usually a king of a well-respected kingdom, you offer your respectful obeisances to him. Nothing. The only thing this old man was looking at was the king's beautiful daughter. And he could not take his eyes off this king's daughter. And the king was bewildered. He said, at least not to me, but pay your respects to the sage. And it was just barely he could open his eyes, barely he could hear or do anything, but his eyes were so fixed on the king's daughter. As soon as the king saw that, he offered his obeisances to the sage. He said, I understand now. And he surrendered to the sage immediately. He understood that even if you grow old, the desire, unless it is cleansed from your heart, it never goes away. It is not potential. Anyways, but this is one of the lessons of the story, is that the desire, unless it's purified, it doesn't go away with time. It's not that because we become old and our senses stop functioning that the desire will stop also. Anyways, continuing. So he had 10 sons. At the age of 88 years old, imagine, 10 sons. And his youngest son, he was named Narayana. Narayana, one of the names of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And Ajahn was very much attached to him. So, 2.40 says, a little advancement on his path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Because at one time, Ajahn was a sincere devotee. And because what happened was beyond his power to control. He saw something. He tried to control his mind. He tried to chant. He tried to remember the scriptures. But it was just too much for him. He fell into sinful activities because of something that happened beyond his control. The Lord had a special plan for him. Of course, he had to suffer the reactions for many years. It was with the prostitute. But the Lord's plan was that at the final moment, he would save him. So let's hear how Krishna had a plan to save Ajahn. So from within Ajah's heart, Sri Narayan arranged a type of intelligence from within Ajahn so that he would name his last son Narayan, knowing that at the time of death, he will be thinking of his son. Ajamil, being such a sinful man who cheated and exploited so many, deserved to suffer a terrible hellish fate in his next life. And the Srimad Bhagavatam explains that when he was on his deathbed, his son was playing next to him. So he was lying down, 88 years old, he was about to die, his son was playing next to him, and just when he was about to die, he cried out, Narayana! And then he died. So what happened next? At that point, the Yamadutas. So the scriptures explain that there's a Devata or demigod, a higher being responsible for judgment. His name is Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. And he has messengers. So then the Yamadutas, they came, and what they do, they collect the souls of the sinful ones. They took their ropes, and they started tying the rope around the subtle body of Ajamil and began to rip him out of his gross body. Very intense. Can you imagine? When Ajamil saw the scary form of the Yamadutas, they were like beasts, like monsters. So horrible. Dragging him, he was so terrified. And at that point, he realized he made a grave mistake by giving up his Krishna consciousness. And just as he was about to be taken away, a wonderful incident took place. Descending from the spiritual sky, 4 effulgent personalities appeared. They had a bluish complexion with eyes like lotus petals, 4 arms with precious jewels everywhere. And with a sweet but commanding voice, they said, "Stop, you cannot take him." The Yamadutas, they were shocked. They were never opposed by anyone. No one ever dared to oppose them. But here they were, faced with the Vishnu Dutas. So Vishnu Dutas are the servants of Lord Vishnu. They were shocked. They looked at the Vishnu Dutas, they said, "Why can we not take him? What do you mean we cannot take him? You know what a rascal this demon person is? We must take him for punishment." The Vishnu Dutas replied, "We know everything he has done, but he has chanted the holy names of the Lord without any offenses at the time of death. And therefore, all of his sins have been purified. So, you cannot take him." The Yamadutas, seeing that the Vishnu Dutas were much more powerful than them, in frustration, they went away. They left. And the Yamadutas, they were so bewildered. For them, no one was more powerful than Yamaraj. He was the one that would make judgment. For them, Yamaraj was the all-powerful. Who were those beings that came more powerful than them and prevented them from taking the soul of Ajamil? So they decided to inquire. They decided to go ask Yamaraj, "How is this possible that these beings are more powerful than us, that are your representatives? That means there must be someone more powerful than you. And that is not possible." So with a heavy heart, they approached Yamaraj again and they said, "Who are those people?" Yamaraj told them that you, me, Brahma, Shiva, everyone, we are all the eternal humble servants of Krishna, Lord Narayana. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Supreme Creator, Maintainer, Annihilator of everything that exists. And we are all His insignificant parts and of ourselves. This is Yamaraj talking to his servants, the Yamadutas. So I will just read a few verses from the Bhagavatam. It's nice that we have it here. So, I'll just go through the verses 22 to 31. It's very nice to have the screen today. So here is Yamaraj speaking to his servants, the Yamadutas. He's saying, devotional service begins with the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society. My dear servants, who are as good as my sons, just see how glorious is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The greatly sinful Ajamil chanted only to call his son, not knowing that he was chanting the Lord's holy name. Nevertheless, by chanting the holy names of the Lord, he remembered Narayana, and thus he was immediately saved from the ropes of death. Therefore, it should be understood that one is easily relieved from all sinful reactions by chanting the holy names of the Lord and chanting of his qualities and activities. This is the only process recommended for relief from sinful reaction, even if one chants the holy name of the Lord with improper pronunciation. He will achieve relief from material bondage if he chants without offenses. Just remember, just how many people are chanting the holy names of the Lord unknowingly when devotees go on Harinam. So many people hear the holy name and so many people just say Hare Krishna. Here it is said that even if one chants with improper pronunciation, he will achieve relief from material bondage. Ajamil, for example, was very sinful, was extremely sinful. But while dying, he merely chanted the holy name, and although calling his son, he achieved complete liberation because he remembered the name of Narayana. Because they are bewildered by the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yagya, Valkya, and Jaini, and other compilers of the religious scriptures cannot know the secret confidential religious system of the 12 Mahajans. They cannot understand the transcendental value of performing devotional service or chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Because their minds are attached to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, especially the Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Rig Veda, their intelligence has become dull. Thus, they are busy collecting the ingredients for ritualistic ceremonies that yield only temporary benefits, such as elevation to Swargaloka or for material happiness. They are not attached to the Sankirtan movement. Instead, they are interested in Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Considering all these points, therefore, intelligent men decide to solve all problems by adopting the devotional service of chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, who is situated in everyone's heart and who is a mind of all auspicious qualities. Such persons are not within my jurisdiction for punishment. Yamaraj is saying, I cannot punish anyone who is chanting Hare Krishna. I cannot punish them. They're not within my jurisdiction. Generally, they never commit sinful activities, but even if by mistake or because of bewilderment or illusion, they sometimes commit sinful acts, they are protected from sinful reactions because they always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. My dear servants, please do not approach such devotee, for they have fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are equal to everyone, and their narrations are sung by the demigods and the inhabitants of Siddhaloka. Please do not even go near them. They are always protected by the club of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, Lord Brahma and I, and even the time factor, Kala, are not competent to chastise them. Paramahamsas are exalted persons who have no taste for material enjoyment and who drink the honey of the Lord's lotus feet. My dear servants, bring to me for punishment only persons who are averse to the taste of that honey, who do not associate with Paramahamsas, and who are attached to the family life and worldly enjoyment, which form the path to hell. So here he's saying, my dear servants, bring to me only those sinful persons who do not use their tongue to chant the holy names and qualities of Krishna, whose heart do not remember the lotus feet of Krishna even once, and whose heads do not bow down even once before the Lord Krishna. Send me those who do not perform their duties toward Vishnu, which are the only duties in human life. Please bring me all such fools and rascals. Text 30. Then Yamaraj, considering himself and his servants to be offenders, spoke as follows, begging pardon from the Lord. O my Lord, my servants have surely committed a great offense by arresting a Vaishnava such as Ajami. O Narayan, O Supreme, and oldest person, please forgive us. Because of our ignorance, we fail to recognize Ajami as a servant of your Lordship, and thus we have certainly committed a great offense. Therefore, with folded hands, we beg your pardon. My Lord, since you are supremely merciful and are always full of good qualities, please pardon us. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Here, Yamaraj is begging forgiveness from the Supreme Lord. Text 31. Sukadev Goswami continued, my dear king, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reaction of the greatest sin. Therefore, the chanting of the Sankirtan movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously. I'll just read the verse. We should note that although Ajami chanted the name of Narayan imperfectly, he was delivered from all sinful reaction. The chanting of the holy name is so auspicious that it can free everyone from the reaction of sinful activities. One should not conclude that one may continue to sin with the intention of chanting Hare Krishna to neutralize the reaction. So one should not think, oh, well, if I just can continue my sinful activities, then I can just do these activities and then chant Hare Krishna to purify myself. Actually, that is one of the 7 offenses to chanting the holy name. Rather, one should be very careful to be free from all sins and never think of counteracting sinful activities by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Prabhupada says here, for this is another offense. If by chance a devotee accidentally performs some sinful activity, the Lord will excuse him. But one should not intentionally perform sinful acts. So this is very important because sometimes the idea comes, oh well, if Ajami chanted at the last moment, maybe we can do all these activities and then be free just by chanting Hare Krishna. And so in conclusion, the Vishnudutas, they understood, they understood, they offered obeisances, they seeked forgiveness, and then the Vishnudutas released Ajami from the ropes of the servants of Yamaraj. Ajamil came to his senses, free from fear. So now he's what? He's free from fear. The Lord, a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. this is where the transformation happened. Ajamil became free from fear. He paid his respects, heartfelt respects to the Vishnu Dutas by bowing his head at their feet. But when the Vishnu Dutas saw that Ajamil was trying to say something to them, right away they disappeared. Ajamil, was this a dream? Ajamil wondered. Or was it reality? He said, I saw some fearful men with ropes in their hands coming to drag me away. Where have they gone, and who were those effulgent beings that came to save me? Ajamil then began to reflect on his life. Isn't it? Sometimes we have a very intense experience in our lives, or we have a near-death experience, or we have an intense accident, something that really shakes us to our core, and then we start wondering, we start reflecting on our lives. So Ajamil was thinking, being a servant of my senses, how degraded I became. I fell down from my position as a saintly Brahmana and begot children in the womb of a prostitute. Indeed, I gave up my chaste and beautiful young wife. What's more, my father and mother were old and had no other friend or son to look after them. Because I did not take care of them, they lived with great pain and difficulty. It is now clear that a sinful person like myself should have been forced in his next life to suffer hellishly. So, actually, Ajamil, he died. Here, he was given a second chance. I am such an unfortunate person, said Ajamil, but now that I have another chance, I must try to become free from the vicious cycle of birth and death. He has been given a second chance. And every single one of us, we can all, somehow, if we can relate to the story, we can find an event in our life that is quite intense. We can see how the Lord is always there, so kind, always giving us second chances. Ajamil immediately renounced his prostitute wife and journeyed to Haridwar, a place of pilgrimage in the Himalayan mountains. There he took shelter at a Vishnu temple, where he practiced bhakti yoga of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. When his mind and intelligence were fixed in perfect meditation on the form of the Lord, Ajamil again saw before him the four celestial beings, recognizing them as the Vishnu Dutas who had saved him from the Yamadutas. He bowed down before them and offered them obeisances. There, at Haridwar, on the bank of the Ganges, Ajamil gave up his temporary material body and regained his eternal spiritual form, accompanied by the Vishnu Dutas. He boarded a golden aircraft and, passing through the airways, went directly to the abode of Lord Vishnu, never again to reincarnate in this material world. This is the power and the glories of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you very much. The story of Ajamil and how a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous step. Any thoughts, any questions? Anyone would like? Yes.
Can you clarify the difference between someone who chants Hare Krishna and sins in the hope of getting liberated, and someone who sins and doesn't know that if you chant Hare Krishna you get liberated? Who goes back to that?
The difference between a person that is committing sinful activities and in the hope of getting, and chanting in the hope of getting liberated, and a person who is chanting Hare Krishna,
who sins but doesn't know that if he chants Hare Krishna, he gets liberated.
And a person who sins If he chants, and if he doesn't know that he chants Hare Krishna, he will get created. So, my understanding is that, so what's the question?
Who goes back to God? What's the difference?
What's the difference? So, in these two cases, my understanding is that the person who is chanting Hare Krishna, who's committing offenses or sins, let's say sinful activities, doing sinful activities, but he's chanting in order to rid himself of these sinful activities, is making spiritual progress. So, the key here is the intention. So, the person might have a past. They say every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. So, we have some sinful activities, we have some bad habits, we have some misdeeds that we have done for so long. But as we are chanting, we are purifying ourselves, but these activities are still there. The old habit they die hard. So we're chanting, and then these sinful activities, they come back, and sometimes we fall into them. But if our intention is that our sincere desire is we are trying to purify ourselves from these activities, we will make tremendous spiritual progress. Same as the person who is chanting, not knowing that his chanting is the person who is chanting for the first case. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and in the case of a person who is chanting, not knowing that his chanting is going to clear the sinful activities, this is the beginning stage, and eventually he will start understanding the difference between activities that are sinful and activities that are conducive to his Krishna consciousness. By reading, by association, he will start understanding the difference. So in both cases, these are valid paths by which one goes through on the path of Krishna consciousness. Now, I would introduce a third case where a person knows what is to be done and not to be done, and voluntarily still engages in those activities, knowing that he will be purified by chanting. This is actually, so the difference is, so Ajahn, he chanted the holy names of the Lord without offense. He was not thinking of alleviating his sins with the holy name. So people who chant, who perform sinful activities, and who think, well, I'm going to perform these activities. If I just chant Hare Krishna, all the reactions of my sinful activities will go away. This is a bit of a cheating mentality. And it comes from someone who has an insincere heart. And it will be impossible for such a person to chant the names of the Lord at the time of death. Why? Krishna says in Gita 15, chapter 15, verse 15, I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So it is actually the Lord that is within our heart that gives us forgetfulness and remembrance. And so, if we chant with this mentality that I can commit sinful activities and purify myself by chanting the holy name, this is actually the seventh offense to chanting the holy name, and it will hinder our progress. We are making offenses on the path of spiritual journey. So it is best to avoid that. It's best to avoid that. But if we are really trying, we are sincere, and we're still in our attempt to purify ourselves, and we are still committing some activities, some sinful activities, sometimes uncontrollably, sometimes we feel urges that come because of our previous habits. Lord says that He will protect such a devotee. And eventually, in due course of time, by staying to the path of devotional service, by staying to the path of sadhana, having a strict and disciplined sadhana, these old habits will emerge. Anyone else? Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaura Premanande.
I finished my master's in electrical engineering. General management. General business management. Automatically, you understand everything. Yeah. Huh? So you said you study at the library?
I usually study at different places, not exactly the library.
Okay, cool. Oh, in EB building?
Okay.
You study there?
Not exactly. The campus for the physics department is actually like.
Loyola? Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I have classes downtown, so.
Okay, okay.
No, we will have a
Student?
Yeah, I will one day.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's go have a prasadam. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Did you get to do, I think, service today to get to Krishna? Yes. No. Yes, I think we did as well. I was supposed to come at 4. We had an event.
Oh my god.
But we got there in different class.
Okay, okay. See you then.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare